I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean.
Jaguar Wright's assertion that Beyoncé must flee because Diddy has already sold her to the federal government feeds conspiracy theories about prominent musicians who are well known for their contentious exposes. These theories speculate that Diddy, who is under pressure from federal investigations, may be settling deals involving other celebrities, such as Beyoncé, in order to shield himself.
You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Pierce.
I'm just saying she's not some person who just doesn't know anything. Okay, she is in the music industry, and she has worked with Jay-Z, and she has said the reason Jay-Z is worse is that he is smarter than Diddy, and he actually is not as overt as Diddy, and he is better at hiding his things. So okay, I'm going to play the clips for you, and then I'm going to come back and talk about some other things. Wright has claimed that she knows of at least 3 victims who are prepared to testify against Jay-Z and Beyoncé. These individuals, according to her, have been subjected to manipulation and exploitation. She's talking about the thousands of other victims here. Here she is saying that Jay-Z and Beyoncé are nasty little couples who hold people against their will. This is a shocking accusation. Listen to this. How many victims do you think there could be? I've talked to hundreds of victims that I deal with personally. What do you think happened with Kim detaining people against their will and forcing them onto planes while they are unconscious, just as Aya did? Now, she is claiming that she knows 3 people who are willing to testify again. I'm not sure if this is civil or criminal. But it fits with her earlier claims that Beyoncé and Jay-Z are both a part of a larger corrupt system that suppresses resistance in the Patrick Bet and controls younger artists. Podcast with David PBD. The episode explores how these well-known individuals may be involved in some severe charges, including possible federal investigations that may be brought about, and highlights recent interviews and claims against Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Making Patrick Bet. David also looked into Riri's more extensive criticism of the music business and the possibility that Diddy's collapse may set off a chain reaction that would topple other influential people.
To find that one, let me just read this here. So, Diddy's list of accomplices to be revealed in a new lawsuit, okay? In a new lawsuit. So in this story, this lawyer comes out and just drops the bomb on everybody. Attorney Tony Busby revealed that a list of Sean Diddy Combs' alleged accomplices will be released in a new wave of lawsuits involving 120 victims. He promised the names will shock you. The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there are a lot of names, he emphasized. We're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. The lawsuit covering incidents dating back to 1991 involving alleged of sexual abuse, many related to Combs at his infamous White Parties events, allegedly involving drugs. Busby plans to file cases across several states, stating we will leave no stone unturned to find all potentially liable parties. Combs currently detained after being denied Bill twice has emphatically and categorically denied the claims, calling them false and defamatory. Even his lawyer gets up, Diddy's lawyer, and says the reason why he's got 1,000 baby oils is because, you know, when you go to Costco and there's discounts, that's what he was doing, and people are supposed to believe
Save that money, Diddy. You got to do what
exactly
you got to do.
we all do that. We all go buy 1,000 bottles of baby. Go ahead,
I got
Rob.
3 in my
Is this
bag
the one,
right
Rob?
now.
Go ahead, Rob.
Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us.
Stop it.
With people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs.
Wright makes several very concerning assertions, one of which is that federal officials have video evidence linking Jay-Z and Beyoncé. According to Wright's allegations, Beyoncé and Jay-Z have been deeply involved in dubious activities for decades, which have formed a part of Diddy's operations. The couple is accused of being key players in an alleged network that subtly manipulates the music industry and takes advantage of up-and-coming artists. Ree claims that this long-standing involvement is what makes Beyoncé and Jay-Z extremely vulnerable, especially in light of Diddy's recent arrest. Diddy seems to be a voyeur who enjoys using his hidden cameras, which are located around his mansions, to spy on others. The evidence presented in Little Rod's lawsuit showed that Mr. Combs had hidden cameras in every room of his house, including the bathrooms and shower heads. Diddy had recordings of a number of celebrities and artists involved in illicit activities. These people had been recorded without their knowledge or consent. As the FBI examined the evidence, it was found that Diddy supposedly has freak-off tape of Beyoncé. This means that Mr. Combs has compromising footage of everyone who has attended his freak-off parties, and the whole hip-hop business might collapse before our very eyes. An attorney talking about the influence of celebrities like Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyoncé in the music industry has highlighted how young aspiring artists are often manipulated and taken advantage of by these powerful individuals. According to various reports, this exploitation occurs through contract control, misuse of power, and even physical misconduct. As more victims come forward, it's becoming clear how these alleged activities affect not only the careers of young artists, but also their personal lives. Thing we could do is name somebody who was involved or allegedly involved and not have our ducks in a row. I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to be involved in ruining someone's repute by making a mistake, you know. Obviously, a lot of this is hard to corroborate. I mean, you're talking about a situation with somebody who thinks that all their dreams are about to come true. They're there with somebody who's a megastar and other stars in the room, and they think all kinds of good things are going to happen to them, and probably the worst thing that could happen to them happens. But yes, there are people who owned private homes, people who owned private venues, people that were in the room, people that I'm going to allege knew what was going on and either participated in it, encouraged it, egged it on, if you will, or somehow benefited from it. And that's going to be different for every case. I mean, these are individual cases at different points at time with different people involved, and there'll be different defendants in each case without naming names, because certainly I appreciate you being responsible enough, and dare I say I would have been responsible enough to say I'm not going to even get into names of allegations. I wouldn't put that out there, but may I ask you from a general perspective or a generic perspective, are these alleged co-conspirators, are they public figures? Are they well-known people in Hollywood in the music industry? Are they people who worked for P. Diddy Combs? Could you be specific in that regard? I would say yes to all the above. On News Nation, an attorney claimed to have seen leaked footage that features a figure even more high profile than Diddy engaging in suspicious activities. I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So which I declined that because, wait a minute, say that again, Again, back up, you're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped. Yes, there have been people already shopping. We've heard about the tapes, but the shopping thing is, yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public KNO. I've heard this before. So like a catch and kill catch, and kill catch and kill correct. Wow, how can you and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on? No, I can't explain who the person was, but Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs. Really? And you've seen it? I've seen skills of the video. Okay, You can verify that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video was pornographic in nature. Oh my, all right, so we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home. Did he, and it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about? Yes. This was actually in his Atlanta home. At a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that it's the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in videotaping, like they're being surreptitiously recorded. While the name of the individual was not explicitly mentioned, there are widespread speculations that it could involve Jay-Z or another major player. Beyoncé, so powerful in the entertainment industry that artists who win awards against her feel obliged to publicly acknowledge her in their acceptance speeches, according to Wright. This is done to prevent Beyoncé and her team from retaliating and to reflect the fear and power dynamics in the industry. The height of his career is still very much an icon and influential figure. So she's just a young girl from Northern California who's going to believe that he had done something to her like this, so she didn't tell anybody. She did not hire an attorney. All she did was make the police report in the hopes that maybe the police would try to investigate and come up with anything, but she said she kind of felt from the police that they were disregarding what she was saying, even without saying Mr. Holmes's name, so she didn't feel any confidence that revealing his name would have done anything. Sure, but there's a police report. I mean, that fact in and of itself is a big deal, because when you're talking about going back in time and talking about these allegations from other alleged victims, you know there's not a lot of police reports, but you guys actually have one. And is that going to be revealed? Are we going to be able to see it? Yes. As soon as I file my lawsuit in civil court, I will be attaching the criminal complaint that was made. I'll attach the number so everyone can see that this is a real number and can go to the police department there and request their own copy of that police report that was made back in 2018. The fact that a lot of victims don't report these things to the police is due to the fact that victims, particularly women, blame and shame the police. And they don't feel safe or protected enough to even make these claims because they don't think they'll be taken seriously or that they will be investigated. Well, that's going to be a huge deal when it happens, so we want to follow up on that. Did Mr. Collins have any reaction? Did you know if he was interviewed? I mean, he was named in the police report, but I don't think so. Based on what she said, she really felt that the police were trying to bury this. According to this story, Beyoncé is known for managing her image and influencing her peers' opinions. Beyoncé and Jay-Z's breakup has been the subject of a lot of speculation, with some suggesting that their relationship with Diddy may have played a role. It seems that the allegations circulating regarding Beyoncé and Jay's relationship may have some truth to them, since Wright has said that the couple's tight friendship with Diddy and the pressure from impending investigations may have strained their relationship. According to recent allegations, Beyoncé boldly separated her assets from Jay-Z's, perhaps indicating a breakup for years. There has been much conjecture that Jay-Z and Beyoncé's father, Matthew Knowles, arranged their marriage more as a business alliance than a romantic one, with some speculating that it was done to further their individual careers now that Jay-Z and Diddy are in legal hot water. Wright speculates that Beyoncé may be trying to distance herself, possibly fearing that she and Jay-Z could be the next targets of federal investigations. Beyoncé appears determined to distance herself from any fallout. She's reportedly working hard to protect her own interests, making moves to separate her assets and brand from Jay-Z's. This is a stark indication that she's not willing to go down with him if things take a turn for the worse. Part of the reason they have, or are already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood. This claim is predicated on Rhee's conviction that Beyoncé's withdrawal from the public eye may be seen as a preventative measure, and that Diddy's legal issues are just the start of a larger crackdown on wrongdoing in the music business. Jaguar, given their long-standing ties, Wright has also conjectured that Diddy would turn on Jay-Z and Beyoncé in order to get a lower sentence or to deflect attention from his own legal struggles. It's possible that Diddy has insider knowledge that could prove damaging to the couple if disclosed to authorities. So ever since P. Diddy was on the run, Wright, they're saying he's taking people down with him. They say he's taking down Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Bro, yo, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about On them, I ain't going to lie, there was a rumor going around that Jay-Z was cheating on Beyoncé with this one girl. I think her name was like Kathy White or something, so supposedly I think it was 2011 Beyonce told the world, like I'm pregnant, whatever. I think it was like during the awards ceremony, but 5 days after that Kath White dies and people speculate that rumors surrounding Jay-Z's involvement in a potential scandal have reignited the age-old conspiracy theories that swirl around the entertainment industry. Rumors suggest Jay-Z covered up a situation that could have threatened his reputation and his seemingly perfect marriage to Beyoncé. The story goes that a woman was allegedly prepared to come forward with claims that she had been involved in a romantic relationship with Jay-Z and was even carrying his child. This news, if proven true, could have shattered the public's image of Jay-Z and Beyoncé as the power couple who stood atop the world, untouchable and flawless. At that time, Jay-Z and Beyoncé were not just artists, they were icons, symbols of success, ambition, and love in its most glamorous form. Their image as the ultimate power couple had been meticulously crafted and guarded over the years, with both of them reigning supreme in the music industry. They had built a brand that extended beyond their music, influencing fashion, culture, business, and even social movements. The possibility of a scandal threatening to unravel that image was not just a minor inconvenience, it was a potential disaster for the empire they had created together. Allegedly, Diddy, another influential figure in the industry, has pointed a finger at Jay-Z, claiming that he went to extreme lengths to silence the woman who was prepared to reveal their affair. The suggestion that Jay-Z might have orchestrated this cover-up to protect his and Beyoncé's pristine image adds a layer of intrigue to their seemingly untouchable persona. For years, the image of Jay-Z and Beyoncé has been one of unity, success, and an unbreakable partnership, an ideal that fans have idolized and aspired to emulate. Any blemish on that image could have disastrous implications, not just for their public personas but for their extensive business ventures that rely heavily on their reputation. It's interesting that this story matches Kanye West's criticisms. Kanye, once a close associate of Jay-Z, has made several bold claims about the power dynamics within the industry. He has long hinted that Jay-Z and Beyoncé use their influence to manipulate the industry, suggesting that their success is not solely based on talent, but also on strategic control and manipulation behind the scenes. According to Kanye, this influence extends so far that it even affects the outcomes of major music awards, where he implies Beyoncé's wins are secured not just by merit but also through calculated moves orchestrated by Jay-Z. Kanye's allegations didn't receive much attention at first, dismissed as the rants of a frustrated artist or a publicity stunt. But when viewed in light of these recent rumors, his words gain a new level of significance. Kanye suggested that Jay-Z and Beyoncé's marriage is not entirely about love, but is more of a strategic alliance, a business arrangement designed to consolidate their power and maintain their status at the top of the industry. He implied that their relationship is carefully curated and protected, with Jay-Z pulling the strings to ensure that their public image remains intact, no matter what happens behind closed doors. These claims also resonate with long-standing rumors from industry insiders, including those like Jaguar Wright, who has openly stated that Beyoncé's marriage to Jay-Z is more transactional than romantic. According to Wright, Jay-Z exerts a considerable amount of control over Beyoncé, not just in their personal lives, but also in their public and professional lives. She argues that their image as a loving, supportive couple is a carefully constructed facade designed to protect their brand, ensuring that any potential threat to their empire is swiftly dealt with before it reaches the public eye.